Good evening. We are glad to bring you this episode of Lamata Half Hour. I am Kate Harmony.
I am Obafemi Craig. Welcome to Lamata Half Hour. Lamata is giving away Christmas goodies to viewers of the program. To get a free shopping voucher, follow these easy steps. 1. Watch Lamata Half Hour this week and listen to the questions at the end of the episode. 2. Go to our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/LamataNG, and click on the like button. And 3. Use the hashtag #WatchAndWin, then type your answer. The first 10 people who get the correct answers will win free shopping vouchers. Please join us after the break. This is the news update on Lamata Half Hour. The World Bank has expressed satisfaction with the level of progress achieved on the road widening and the Bus Rapid Transit BRT extension to Ikorodu town. Officials of the bank who were on a review mission to Lagos visited the two sections being funded with credit from the bank, Mile 12 to Ajegunle and Majidun to Ikorodu roundabout. The mission also visited the 5 hectares parcel of land depot site, which on completion will hold more than 250 high-capacity buses and the parcel of land acquired for the relocation of the plantain sellers at Mile 12. The site, where the plantain sellers currently occupy, has been earmarked for the development of the Mile 12 bus terminal. Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority's Director of Public Transport, Engineer Gbenga Dairo, who led the Lamata team, gave a progress report on the project. He said the project was on course and will be completed before the end of 2014. The Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, Lamata, last week continued the sensitization of the people along the Mile 12 to Ikorodu corridor on the benefits of the road expansion project and the extension of the BRT to Ikorodu town. During the exercise, flyers stating benefits of the project were distributed with the emphasis that the road project was part of the state government plan to boost infrastructural development in the state, especially in the transport sector. When completed, the road project promises to bring comfort and make life easy for residents along the axis. Abiodun Jagun Street, Ogba, closed to traffic on November 29, 2013 to allow for the installation of a cross culvert by the contractor handling the Wemco Road drainage project for 2 weeks is now reopened. The Director of Roads, Lamata, Engineer Funsho Ilulade, acknowledged the support, patience, and understanding of road users and residents during the period of closure. Engineer Ilulade implored road users to continue to exercise caution while using the road as the drainage project inches towards completion and the road rehabilitation project achieves significant milestone with the laying of surface drainage on a substantial part of the road. In order to ensure easy movement during the Christmas and New Year holidays, the Lagos State government is to provide free bus rides to Lagosians on Wednesday, 25th December 2013 and Wednesday, 1st January 2014. The free bus ride, according to a statement by the Managing Director of the Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, Lamata, Dr. Dayo Mobriola, will enable Lagosians have easy movement across the state. Dr. Mobriola said the free bus service, which began in 2008, had helped in reducing congestion and accidents on the roads during festive periods, adding that the service will run for 13 hours, starting at 7 a.m. and ends at 10 p.m. The first BRT cooperative operator of the Bus Rapid Transit BRT will offer free services on Mile 12 to CMS, Mile 12 to Obalende, Mile 12 to National Stadium, Mile 2 to National Stadium, Oshodi to Obalende, and Oshodi to National Stadium routes. And the Bus Franchise Scheme BFS corridor, Free services will be offered on the Ikotun-Ikeja to Maryland, Iyano-Ipaja to Maryland, Ikotun to Iyano-Ipaja, Igondo to Iyano-Ipaja, Igondo to Ikeja, and Igondo to Maryland routes. He admonished those who would put their vehicles on the road to drive with care and observe all traffic rules. And that ends the news.
Last week on the program, we looked at an interesting and life-impacting topic, traveling to stay alive, traffic management and safety issues with Engineer Olajide Oduyoye, Deputy Director, Transport Safety, Lamata, an expert with several years of experience both within the United Kingdom and Nigeria. Responses have been pouring in, as well as requests for a repeat. This is why we have decided to afford you this opportunity to watch this again. Sit back and learn.
During festive seasons, a lot of travelers move to several destinations. Our concern is to raise awareness about traffic management and safety issues. Our guest is a traffic management, road safety, and parking specialist. He has over 23 years postgraduate experience in the United Kingdom and Africa, particularly in Nigeria. He is a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport. We have as our guest today, Engineer Olajide Oduyoye, Deputy Director, Transport Safety, Lamata. You're welcome.
Thank you.
The concept of safety is something we all know, yet we are all in breach of its observance. How will you describe the concept of transport safety practices?
Well, can I just have the same opportunity to correct that notion that we all know the concept of safety? If we all do, the problems and the challenges that we have in the country, and most especially in Lagos right now, would not be at the level at which it is. Going back to your question, the concept of safety in itself is threefold, and it borders on responsibilities. Those that have the responsibility to put things in place. The second set of people are those that have responsibility to maintain what has been put in place. And then the third are the people that need to use what has been put in place. And the reason why we have failures is because all these three tiers sometimes address it in a nonchalant behavior, carefree attitude, and without the basic understanding that every aspect of what you need to do is important in terms of how we stay alive and how we travel alive. I here give an example. If the government is supposed to put the roads in place and they don't do the engineering properly, it's a safety issue. Now, if a road has been constructed and an organization or agency is responsible for its maintenance in terms of dealing with the potholes, then there's a failure. Now, if all those two are even okay, and then the people themselves, i.e. the drivers and the pedestrians, all road users, don't have a clue how to use the road in terms of their own personal safety and the safety of others, then we have a problem. And that is how you deal with the basic principles of safety on the roads.
So in this festive season, people are involved in different activities, shopping, hampers, parties, and traveling, of course. And in the midst of the whole activities, people tend to forget the basic safety rules. Please, could you remind us of the basic safety rules?
The road is there for all of us to benefit from.
Okay.
And number one, the provider and the users. Okay. Now, if you're providing public transport interstate, the garage is responsible, the union is responsible, and also the driver. And so all these levels of responsibilities needs to be dealt with properly. Okay. As a driver going interstate, it's quite common. Don't drink before you drive. Okay. Don't take alcohol. Don't take drugs. Now, when you do take passengers from one garage and you're going outside the state, you're bound to use the express roads. Don't speed, or don't overspeed, or don't break the speed limit. The other thing that a driver needs to understand, a simple principle, is that if you're carrying 12 passengers on your bus, regard those passengers as members of your family. There's a difference in the manner and way of driving if you're by yourself or with people that you don't like. and that of your family that you love. If all drivers treat passengers like they love them, there are certain things that you would not do. As a pedestrian, when you're walking, you know you're going to be walking on the streets, and you're likely to come back home late, which means it gets dark. Try and wear reflective clothes. Reflective means that vehicles can see you as you're walking on the road. I agree that there are lots of things that needs to be done in improving our walkways. However, the things that we have around could best be utilized if pedestrians take personal responsibility for themselves. Instead of backing traffic when you're walking, walk against oncoming vehicles so the lights can see you where you're walking towards. Plus, if anything untowards was coming in your direction, you have opportunity to take evasive action before it gets to you. And so if we abide by all these simple rules, do not overspeed, do not allow the festive period to allow you to drink and drive when we have state taxis, we have all sorts of modes of transport that you can utilize apart from driving. Don't overestimate your capability of absorbing alcohol, because alcohol gives a false sense of authority and confidence.
What do you think make people to forget these safety rules?
Well, I'll start with in the sense that in any society where you have people, when there is a limited enforcement system in place, people naturally would want to do things because, like I said earlier on, they have too much confidence in what they're about to do. And those that deliberately break rules, they do it because they feel they can get away with it. And so people tend to go for things like, when we talk about speeding, speeding depends on the capacity of the vehicle you're driving. Now, if there is no FRSC there all of the time, which is near impossible to stop you, you're more likely to speed. If you've been taking too much alcohol because of the festive season, you know, sometimes some of us, we have difficulty in saying enough is enough. We must have that ability to know what our body can take and just say, I've had one glass today of wine, of anything. Tomorrow is there, I would have another glass.
So in essence, we are saying here that safety is all about us, and we've been conscious about it. So where do we now place this myth about the embalmment that at this time it is always an accident issue, people always have, you know, there's this myth concerning it. How realistic is this? Well,
like you said, the word myth is important. And we tend to get overexcited over any festive period. It doesn't matter what festive period it may be. But in my observation, we get overexcited about it. We chase things that are not there. We run after things that do not need to be chased after. And in the mix of overexcitement, we do things that we're not supposed to do. We forget the basic rules of looking after ourselves and wanting to stay alive. Someone would say, I have to travel out of state. And I ask the question, do you have to? Is it because it's the festive season and it's the end of that festive season, that season is not coming again? That if you get to a garage and you see the sort of drivers that are likely to travel on the highway, and you're not confident, and you're not completely happy, and your heart is beating faster than normal, something, your instinct is telling you, something is not right about this vehicle, something is not right about this driver, why don't you just change your mind and don't go, and don't make the travel? Another thing that we can do for people, especially that go on public transportation in garages, is that we must build the confidence to make our fears known to other passengers.
So what advice will you give to vehicle owners and road users who travel or who will travel at this time?
For vehicle users, we've talked about the public transport segment. I would say a lot of people will take their vehicles and they will travel out of state. I know it is also common that people will even buy new vehicles that they have not tested properly, and they need to go and show family outside the state. They need to double check that these vehicles are properly maintained and checked over, i.e. the general stuff, the tires, the water level, the oil, and the general thickening of the engine itself, so that you're not stuck halfway on the journey, because that in itself is a safety aspect. Because if you're stuck on the highway at around 6:30 to 7 p.m., you just don't know who is going to come and attack you. Plus, as you're traveling on the road, it is better safely traveling during the day as opposed to during the night. If you're a motorist, your speed is important. Don't overload your vehicle.
You see some drivers, they say, I've been driving for donkey years, so I can do any speed limit of my choice. What do you have to say to such drivers?
Well, I would say this program gives the opportunity for what you call continual knowledge. Okay. Doesn't matter how long you've been driving. Circumstances around the road can change all that within seconds. Okay. And I say to people, you are just part one of millions on the road. Okay. You can have confidence in yourself, but ask this question. Do you have any authority on the knowledge, ability, and experience of other drivers around you? And once the answers to those three questions are no, then it means you are not in an island, and what you do is only about yourself. But accidents mostly does not happen by oneself. It's always other outside factors that create accidents or incidents on the road. Okay.
It's all about placing premium on your life. It's still a matter of hour. We'll go on a break now, and when we return, we'll take questions from our audience. Please stay with us.
Basically, what Lamata does is to coordinate public transportation in Lagos State, and we came up with a transport master plan.
Developed together with the World Bank, the objective of this plan is finding long-lasting solutions for the problem of transportation in Lagos. Currently under its first steps of development, the plan has already proven itself a big success, dramatically increasing the connectivity in a city in continuous expansion and enjoying an unparalleled demographic and economic growth.
Our responsibility is to ensure that we provide the necessary infrastructure to meet the growth, to improve the quality of life, to improve the standard of living, and to make Lagos a vibrant and livable city in years to come.
Lamata, think transport.
Well, now to take questions, and a question from the audience. Okay.
What measures are you taking pertaining to drivers being caught being on drugs or drunk while on duty?
That particular aspect is within the purview of the Federal Road Safety Corps. A few gadgets have now been procured that would assist officers of the FRSC to stop drivers and test them on the road. But information from the garages and from passengers themselves, like I mentioned earlier on, is always useful, because there's no police or policing anywhere in the world that does not require the input from the persons that are concerned.
What are the provisions for disabled people during this festive period?
That's a beautiful question, and I'm happy that you're concerned about those who are less able than we are. However, the festive period doesn't change much in terms of what is either in place or not in place. And so if we have a system in place, for example, we're all supposed to care for those that are less able than we are. And so that should continue. The same way I mentioned earlier on, the Ember months, the festive period, changes nothing about our responsibility, about our care for other people, about being safe. And so if a provision has been made, i.e. keep the road clear for those on the wheelchairs or for those who are walking sticks, then we should keep it clear all of the time.
All right, we have come to the end of the audience question and answer session. Over to you, Kate.
Thank you so much, Craig. And just before your parting words, what do you have to say to people that won't be making any trip this season? What are the domestic safety rules they have to abide by?
I talked about excessive alcohol consumption during the festive period. Getting drunk can bring a whole lot of safety issues to the home front. Violence, domestic violence, injuring yourself because you couldn't walk home, you couldn't see the open sewage, you couldn't see the open drainage, you can easily fall into it and damage your leg. That means hospital bills, and sadness for everybody. This is a time to also check out for teenagers the things you would not normally allow them to do because of safety issues, either going to night parties, all-night parties because they're underage, or even taking drugs or drinks. This is a time to double check. Don't allow the festive period to change your principle about your responsibility towards your children. This is a time to know that yes, it's a festive period, and there's a level of enjoyment that you can have, but as a parent, you would not allow your child to be involved in overexcitement that will bring sadness and unhappiness to the whole family. And that is what I would need to say to our viewers, that during this festive period, it's a collective responsibility for us to be safe. The government is in love with you being alive. I am in love with you being alive. I want you to be in love with being alive in the festive period of 2013.
On Lamata Half Hour, we love the idea of you staying alive, so we urge you to stick to all the safety rules. We'd like to thank you for being a part of the program. Thank you for being a part of Lamata Half Hour.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after the break.
We hope you enjoyed the rebroadcast of our episode on safety. Safety is a conscious effort we must all practice. Do comply with safety signs, rules and regulations, and be considerate to other road users.
For more information, you can visit our website or get in touch with us through social media. Contact details appear on your screen now. Please do get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. Now, questions for the free shopping vouchers. Question number 1. When joining a motorway, you must always A. Give way to traffic already on the motorway. B. Push your way on before the slip road runs out. C. Come to a stop before joining the road. Question 2. When was Lamata established? Here is wishing you all a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year from all of us at Lamata.
Travel to stay alive. Lamata.
Think Transport.
Lagos, my home. With Lamata, Lagos is changing for the best. BRT lanes, modern rail lines, pedestrian bridges.